So let's talk about rules again. Right now I'm breaking the rules. They're not rules that are meant to be enforced. They're just like doing what's smart or not. And boy, have I done a lot in my life that people have told me not to do, and mostly it's been fine. Because the rules people live by are mostly made up bullshit that they didn't control and they didn't make the rule. They're just victims of it. And so I can understand why there's a lot of people who would want to rebel against the idea of there being rules at all. That seems like a good idea. On the other hand, rules actually protect you from other people's bad behavior. And so, in a life of rule breaking, in a life of being a rebel, and suffering for it sometimes, probably in ways I don't even understand, I think it's useful to consider the rules we do want to protect us and the environment around us and from the actions of bad people. The rule I'm breaking at the moment is don't go walking at 11:21 to town and then think you're going to make useful videos that are comfortable and happy. Because it's hot. It's just going to get hot, hot, hot. And you know what? That's okay. Today I'm in a pretty good mood. I feel fairly strong. I've rested well. I'm finishing up a couple weeks of watching zombie movies, which are often post-apocalyptic movies, which is a theme I enjoy, and I've watched a wide variety of them, and I am very pleased to see that they're not all terrible. They're not all things I enjoy that much, but there's a wide variety, and that's pretty cool. And the idea, I think, of zombie-ness plays with the idea of what it is to be a human. And of course I'm far more interested in what it means to be a human who survives, and I'm very interested in the interpersonal reactions and relations shown in those movies as centralized systems break down and there's warlords and gangs and fighting and people trying to control each other, because that's something we already deal with on the big scale and the small scale. And it's one of the challenges we have as humans to design a culture in which that isn't the primary problem. It doesn't matter how technological your society is. It doesn't matter whether it's guns or swords. We got to figure out the problem of people trying to oppress each other. Let's look at the underlying issues. Justice systems, social agreements, shit like that. That's how we solve war. Am I really gonna walk way the fuck over there? Yeah, probably. Can't be lazy. And I can take the hard way back, because I got a whole bunch of land up there that I've been doing a ton of videos about land use design, and a bunch of those are about the use of specific parts of the property, which I don't mention by name, and they'll probably get renamed and have multiple names potentially. But now that the drone map is on the way, I have to get really serious about designing those spaces. And every single one of them is absolutely importantly unique. And the decisions I make for it will not only determine what happens to that piece of land, but the ones around it and how they're affected. And it's not like I'm, in communication with some architectural god that tells me what is the best thing to do with a piece of land. I mean, there's one part of it I'm thinking of right now, because now I'm thinking about the hill over there, area above it and between it, and then the rest of it going down to the south side. And I might be skipping a hill there. I mean, I walk that all the time, but this map's going to help so much. I mean, it could be I take an entire semi-sloping hill that juts out and I cut through it with a road so that the road goes straight through it at a very deep level, like 3-4 stories down is, I mean, I don't know the elevation amount going on there, but it's something like that. And then cut down every tree on it, fill it up with just one big building that has infinitely cool access to a bunch of other spaces. I mean, that's just a crazy idea that sounds terrible to me, because I spent, the last decades protecting that piece of land. But I know that I want people somewhere, and I've got a piece of flat land picked out where I could put buildings, and that is tempting. But what if I took that whole piece of land that juts out, it's like a kind of tiny ridge or something, and I just decided, okay, we're going to turn all of this into building. Now, before you judge me too harshly, realize that wherever you live used to be a forest or natural land. And all the places you've lived were that. So everywhere you've lived has had natural destruction occur to it. And so as you listen to me talk about designing a space in which I destroy a piece of natural land to create habitable space that's highly valuable, have some fucking empathy and also realize I want to do it way better than the place you live. I want to have full rain capture. I want to have full solar, use the sun correctly. Totally different design than anywhere you've ever lived in your whole life. Unless maybe you were camping out and you probably weren't that comfortable, so you still didn't live there. So yeah, it's tricky decisions, it really is.